Yo, what's up guys? In today's video I got a bunch of Chicago Bulls news and updates. In today's video I'm going to be talking about all the rumors that have been coming out about Zach LaVine this offseason and a big update on his knee injury. Also later in today's video I'm going to be talking about how a bunch of NBA insiders are urging the Chicago Bulls to trade Vooch, and I'm going to be talking about how Billy Donovan was asked the other day about a possible contract extension with the Chicago Bulls. But before I jump into today's video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Also leave a quick like below today's video. It takes a second and it helps me out a lot. And some comments and questions below today's video about all the news and updates I'm about to jump into. Also check out my last video if you guys missed it. I was talking about how the Chicago Bulls are open to trade their 2022 NBA draft pick. I was also talking about some potential draft targets if the Bulls do keep that pick. But either way, let's just jump right into today's video because a big update on Zach LaVine came out just the other day. And I'm going to be real, this update or news that just came out really doesn't surprise me. And according to Shams, Bulls All-Star Zach LaVine is expected to undergo a scope procedure on his left knee in the upcoming weeks. I think this is obvious. I mean, Zach LaVine has dealt with pretty much every injury in the book for this past season. And with Zach LaVine being, I'd say, the biggest free agent in this upcoming offseason, you know, it's definitely a concern that he's going to need left knee surgery in the upcoming weeks. But I do expect him to re-sign with the Chicago Bulls if the Bulls offer him a max contract. I've talked about this in many videos. I know there's been a lot of Bulls fans that say Zach LaVine isn't worth the max. And in my opinion, he's not worth all that money. But at the same time, you have to give him it. There's no better options out there on the market or the trade market that's realistic. And I believe Zach loves Chicago. He said many times he loves Chicago. He wants to be here. I mean, he pretty much played this whole season dealing with injuries to help this Bulls team make the playoffs in the first time in a few years. So as long as the Bulls give Zach a max contract, I do expect him back next season. And now on to all the Zach LaVine free agency rumors. According to Brian Windhorst on ESPN, you know, he was on his podcast just the other day, and he put out a few things. You know, huge shout out to Daniel Greenberg for putting this tweet out and these key points. And the first key point he did discuss on his podcast is that there's now some belief among NBA executives that Zach LaVine could be in play for other NBA teams in free agency. And I'm going to be real, I don't believe that at all. There's only like 2 to 4 teams that can really afford Zach LaVine. And I'd say afford in quotation marks, because if Zach LaVine does leave the Chicago Bulls and sign a max contract with another team, he is pretty much going to be leaving $40 to $50 million on the table, which I just don't think he'll do that. Brian Windhorst also listed the Portland Trail Blazers as a team to watch for Zach LaVine. I just don't believe this. Like I've said many times, if the Bulls offer him a max contract, I believe Zach LaVine will be back. Definitely let me know below today's video what you guys' thoughts are on Zach LaVine's knee surgery that's coming up in the upcoming weeks and all the offseason rumors about Zach LaVine. I mean, he's a 2-time All-Star, back-to-back All-Star that's gotten better every year. He's about to be in his prime. I say the Bulls should max him. I think it's an easy choice in my opinion. And the second topic in today's video is about Nikola Vooch. You know, Vooch has had a crazy season, let's be honest. He's had an up and down season, especially his shooting percentages, especially his three-point shot. I've said many times in many videos, I don't know what happened to his three-pointer. But either way, there's been a lot of NBA insiders urging the Chicago Bulls to look to move Vooch in this offseason. And 670, the score, was talking about this whole situation just a few weeks back. And they said the Bulls are in dire need of a defensive-minded center, and they should look to move Vooch in this offseason. They continued and they said you need a legit rim protector to be able to make up for the mistakes of the perimeter guys. And I do agree, but at the same time, I think it's going to be really hard to trade Vooch for a better center. I just don't think there's a realistic trade on the market as of right now. I mean, who knows? Crazier things have happened. I mean, the Bulls front office and players seem to believe that the front office plans to run this core back next season. I'm kind of iffy on that whole situation, but I do understand that as well. But I just don't believe trading Vooch is realistic. I know a lot of Bulls fans have really wanted to trade for Rudy Gobert, and I believe that situation's kind of 50-50 split between fans as well. But at the same time, I believe this Bulls team to just run this core back, and I'm fine with that. I mean, Vooch, even though he struggled, had a lot of problems with shooting percentages this season, he still put up very solid numbers, and he played pretty solid in the playoffs in my opinion. And by the start of next season, he will also be on a 1-year deal, only making $22 million. And for the past 4 seasons now, his contract contract has went down $2 million every year, which is a great contract and value for Vooch and the Bulls in my opinion. I mean, on the season, he still played really solid. In 33 minutes per game, he did average 18 points per game. He still shot 47% from the field. And here's what I really just can't wrap my head around. He only shot 31% from three-point range, and his career from three-point range is about 35, so I don't know what happened this season. He also did average 11 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and a block per game as well. I believe the Bulls are going to run it back, especially with Vooch only making $22 million for this upcoming offseason. I feel like it's just going to be really hard to replace all the little things Vooch does for the offense, and even I felt like his defense was solid in the playoffs. I just feel like it's going to be impossible to trade him for another center that does all the little things Vooch does for $22 million per season. But either way, let me know below today's video if you guys want the Bulls to keep or look to trade Vooch in this upcoming offseason. And the final topic in today's video is about Billy Donovan. You know, same with Vooch, just like Billy Donovan. They've had really up and down seasons. Billy Donovan, I know he was getting a lot of love and a lot of, I'd say, coach of the year talk to start the season. And then the second half of the NBA season hit. You know, after All-Star break, this Bulls team just fell apart. They looked completely different. Billy Donovan got a lot of talk. I know a lot of Bulls fans were even talking about how the Bulls should fire him on Twitter. And in his end of exit interview, Billy Donovan was asked about a possible contract extension with the Bulls. Billy Donovan did say he indicates it's too early for him to worry about a contract extension or to bring up that topic right now, and I agree. He still has 2 years left on his 4-year contract. Billy Donovan did say, though, I love it here. I love this city. And I know, especially to end the season and in the playoffs, Billy Donovan got a lot of hate. You can blame, you know, the lineup issues, rotation minutes. There's been a lot of hate surrounding Billy Donovan. But at the same time, I still do believe he's one of the best coaches in the NBA. I know a lot of people say one of the best, really. I mean, I'd still say he's top 10 coach in the NBA. It's hard to find good coaches in the NBA, in my opinion. I know a lot of Bulls fans that really wanted the Bulls to fire him and move on and like try to get Mark Jackson, but I just don't believe Mark Jackson's the best coach. I mean, he hasn't been a coach in the NBA for a few years now. I still like Billy Donovan. I mean, I don't blame him fully for all the problems. I mean, in the playoffs, I felt like the Bulls really only had maybe 5 to 7 players that were truly, like, I'd say, needed and were expected at playoff minutes and that could handle it. I believe a big retool is coming up in this offseason from the Chicago Bulls front office. They need to add a lot of 3-and-D type players, in my opinion. The Bulls struggled badly from three-point range to end the season, and especially in the playoffs versus the Bucks, when the Bucks were pretty much letting the Bulls take wide-open threes, and I felt like we just couldn't make them. Obviously, missing Lonzo hurt badly in that series, but at the same time, this Bulls team needs to add size, three-point shooting, and defense, in my opinion. Let me know below today's video all your thoughts on the Zach LaVine update, all the rumors surrounding him in free agency, and all the other topics in today's video. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a good one.